Hi, I'm Lee. This is Cohort Hostel. We're in the centre of St Ives, and cohort means a group of people having a shared experience. We've had this place since 2015. Before that we had a B&B in St Ives. We moved down here from London in 2011 and bought a B&B with no plan, which was an adventure. We got to about 3 years in and we started looking for a larger B&B, so something that could support staff so we could have a day off, because it is kind of relentless work. And we couldn't really find anywhere. Property in St Ives is so expensive. And this place came up. So this place was the St Ives Backpackers. We'd always walked past it in town, but never really paid it much attention. It looked pretty grotty from the outside. But when it came up, we were like, a youth hostel? Of course, like, why didn't we think of that? Because actually Dan and I, Dan's my husband, we're much more youth hostel people than we are B&B people, in the sense of our experience of travelling is much more youth hostel based than staying in B&Bs. In fact, I think we'd only ever stayed in one B&B before we opened one. Whereas on our honeymoon even, we were staying in youth hostels all over South America. So we came to have a look at it, and it was horrible. The building was in real disrepair. But actually the room that we're in right now, we walked into that room and it was like it had real wow factor. Even then, even in the kind of state of disrepair and the sofas with holes in and the paint peeling off the walls and everything, it did really have, it's got this incredible ceiling and this incredible space. And St Ives, as a general rule, is pretty titchy. Everything's kind of crammed into little streets, and you kind of walk up here and it's like it opens up into this huge space, and we completely were just like, oh my God, this place is amazing. And right from the very beginning we could see its potential, and I think that's what we kind of fell in love with, is the idea of what we could do rather than actually what existed. When we first got Cohort Hostel and rebranded it, renamed it, everything like that, so much of the first 18 months was about scrabbling to renovate. We didn't really pay much attention to the actual kind of proactively developing the business. We would just kind of sit and pray and hope that people walk in the door, but actually all our energy went on what it looked like, getting the facilities up to scratch. After about 18 months, we were evaluating where we were going and what had happened, and kind of almost without us noticing, we'd been starting to get inquiries and get the odd stay here and there from school groups, from educational establishments. And we were kind of like, well, this could be a real growth area. Then I remembered that back in the day when we had the B&B, I'd spoken to a Cornwall development company about trying to help us get a mortgage to move down here and various things. So I gave them a call and they put me in touch with the Growth Hub, which I hadn't really come across before. And I initially contacted them because I said, we want to grow and we need some help and we don't know where to start. And this is where we think our market is going, and this is where we think there's development opportunities, but I don't know where to start or what to do or anything. And Chris Phillips came in to meet with me. So he took a tour of the building. He said, right, I'm going to put you in touch with Oxford Innovation, who are going to help you with your strategy and your business strategy and growing that and putting a ribbon around all these ideas that you have and making them into kind of a comprehensive kind of strategy for your business going forward for the next 5 years. And I'm also going to put you in touch with the Department of International Trade, because they will be able to help you access what you think are your international markets. Without the Growth Hub, I don't know how I would have ever come across those organisations. So they acted as this incredible signposting organisation. And I was like, thanks very much, Chris. And on we went with Oxford Innovation. And through that, obviously, it's like once you make one connection, it's like a domino effect. You make another one, you make another one. Oxford Innovation puts you in touch with such and such. The Department of International Trade help us with this. And it was all kind of going along swimmingly, and I'd almost forgotten that the Growth Hub was where it all started. And then I found myself in a very similar position 2 years down the line, and we'd won a few awards. We'd recently, at the end of last year, early this year, we won gold in some Cornwall Tourism Award, the South West Tourism Awards, and the British Youth and Travel Awards. And we had all these awards, and I'm like, I don't know how to make the most of this. And I went on to a forum, a business forum that I'm involved with on Facebook, and they were like, get in touch with your local partnership organisation. And that's what's like, the Growth Hub, I know them. So I called Chris again And I said, hey, remember me? We've been doing really well, thanks for your help. We've won some awards and we could really do with some help with our PR. And again, like before, it's one of those things where I went to him with one problem and the ripple effect is that actually that wasn't a problem at all, and in fact it opens up all these other opportunities. Chris put me in touch with the Skills Hub because I was also very, through a conversation we had, an exploratory conversation where Chris was kind of probing kind of me to answer questions that I hadn't even gone in there to discuss. We kind of worked out that actually I was struggling with training needs for staff and I was struggling identifying appropriate training courses, so he put me in touch with the Skills Hub, and also that I was struggling to fund kind of development of certain areas of the business that I knew had like real growth potential but couldn't find the money in our cash flow to do it, and he's put me in touch with access to finance. But again, it was like, you know, Chris just kind of took the information I gave him and just went poof, poof, poof. It's like, here, talk to these guys, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. And as a small business, you're so torn. Any small business is torn. Like, you know, you don't have an HR team, you don't have a finance team, you don't have an operations team. You are all of those things. One minute you're talking about employment contracts, the next minute you're checking in a customer at reception, the next minute you're negotiating your utility contracts. It's a combination of all those things. So having the Growth Hub give us these support organisations really makes you feel like you're not completely out there on your own, floating around going, well, I'm trying to run a business, not really sure what I'm doing, not really sure how to develop things, got ideas, haven't got any time to implement them. And even just having the meeting with, say, the Skills Hub or access to finance, it focuses you. It goes, okay, all right, I can't do everything, but I can do this. And that's what the Growth Hub gave us. It gave us the opportunity to go, all right, car park this, that's okay, it doesn't have to be dealt with straight away, but how about we focus on this for the next month or so, and then how about we focus on this, and how about if you get access to some funding, you can then do this, but don't worry about that until you've done this. And it just, as a small business, and I work with my husband and a really small staff team who are great, but actually you don't have anyone to bounce off ideas with. And so that's what the Growth Hub have given us, is that opportunity to talk through our business, to really understand it, and to give us an objective idea about what we should be prioritising and what not. And always with really good humour and really like they genuinely care that our business is growing. So yeah, it's been great. From all of us at Cohort Hostel, bye!